देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं। गुरु ब्रह्मा गुरु विष्णु गुरुदेवो महेश्वर गुरु साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः। I welcome everyone who are in temple as well as who are online, watching, listening and studying Srimad Bhagavad Gita. This is a very important book in life, the only book in the world which can bring peace and harmony in the society all over the world. That is a book. Bhagavad Gita एक ही ऐसा पुस्तक है, क्यों है, कैसा है, we have to understand. Sometimes we say हमारा यही बड़ा है, फिर दूसरा वर्ग जो है वो कहेगा, other people will say no, our book is best. Third person will say my book is best. How the best can be defined is important to understand. Then only we can decide what is the best. So what are the parameters to understand what is the best? And that is what we are trying to learn. Why it is the best, why it is giving us the whole world a guidance in our life. So we are going to study further in our Srimad Bhagavad Gita chapter 3, Karma Yoga Nama Trutiyo Adhyaya, the third chapter. And in this third chapter, last week we studied 26th and 27th sloka. Last week we studied it. And just to recap on that, what did we study so that we can have a continuity in understanding? What did we study? So the 26th sloka was telling, Na buddhi bhedam janayed. Do not create the discord. To whom? Ajnanam karma sanginam. Those who connect themselves with the karma and the fruit. Karma means the actions here. The actions and the fruitive actions, and they are focused only on the actions and the fruits coming from it. Those people are called as ajnana. So, na buddhi vedam janayet. Do not discord the brain of ajnani. By and whom? By whom? Josaye satsa karmani. Yeah. Those who are already intelligent, vidwan yukta samacharan. One who is working together with those people who are ignorant should not create a buddhi bhedam, should not create a discord. And we took the example of mother and the daughter. The daughter is playing the doll and the house and the family with her dolls. The mother should not say that this is a plastic material, it is merely a plastic doll, it doesn't have any soul, it doesn't have any life, you are playing with it, घर घर खेलती हो, ये तो माया है, गलत है. Mother should not say that. And why we understood it during the discussion of the 26th sloka. Then on 27th sloka, we understood it further that what is how the actions are being taken. So when it is told that the vidwan, the intelligent people should behave and work with the people who are ignorant, then how we can distinguish? What is the method of distinguishing? अगर ज्ञानी और अज्ञानी सही और सेम काम करते हैं तो उसमें फर्क कैसे फाइंड आउट करें? How can we differentiate between them? And there is another second question behind it. The second question is, अगर ऐसा है तो ज्ञानी को ढूंढे कैसे? How will we identify a ज्ञानी person? Because we need a guru. For guru, you need a ज्ञानी person. But if the jnani person is behaving and acting similar to a ajnani person, how will we be able to distinguish? That's the question coming. So, first of all, it explained in 27th sloka that prakrute kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvasaha ahankara vimudhatma karta hamiti manyate. The one who is attached, the one who thinks that I am the person who is doing the work, and I am the person who is doing, मेरा पुरुषार्थ है, हाँ. And you know, Canada में आते हैं, people come to Canada, they say, 20 साल पहले मैं आया था, खाली मेरे पास में $3 था. I came to Canada only with $3 in my pocket. I took TTC and I went to a place, and today I have got 3 bungalows. People say that, isn't it? I have got so many cars, I have achieved this. People say that. There is nothing wrong in having a pride for working, but you have to consider it is whose. Because before you came to Canada, those bungalows were still there, and after you will leave this world, those bungalows will be still there. So your identity is different than what we are telling our identity as. Aap kaun ho? I am owner of 3 subways. Who are you? I am the owner of 2 motels. I am the owner of 3 big companies. Our identity we connect with the material world, and that is where it is telling anahankara vimudatma. 2 parts. One is I have done it. That is the first question coming in the mind of the person who is ahankara vimudatma, who is not understanding the difference between self and the material world. And then karta hamiti thinks that I am doing it, but he is not doing it. It is because of the guna. Gunai karmani sarvasva. And we talked about this also last time, and we took example of Rakshas and Asur. Who is Rakshas? Rakshas doesn't mean who has got long teeth and the horns and all those kind of things. What we see in the pictures, generally the painters put there. Rakshas means Rakshami, one who thinks that I am the creator, I am the person who is taking care of myself. मैं खुद की रक्षा करता हूँ. That is Rakshas. Asura. Asur means what? One who thinks that only the sensual happiness is me. Sensual happiness is me. That is what one thinks is an Asur. That is what we took last time. So last time we thought about all these things and we took example. So God is explaining further because it is very important. See, God has put it has put us in some kind of in a fence. First, it is telling us that a guni person, a jnani person should not behave separately, should not behave uniquely than the other people. And we took the example, and we also told yes. And we took the same example of the mother and the child. This is an excellent example because everybody knows it. Everybody in their home has seen it. If the mother says that no, I am mother and I am going to do, mother will not be able to play with the child. Mother will not be able to play. So number one line border, one side border, God has told that jnani person should not be having any uniqueness in their mind. They should not be unique. बड़ी लंबी दाढ़ी है, भगवा डाले हुए हैं, रुद्राक्ष की बड़ी बड़ी मालाएं डाली है, तो साधु बाबा. But in that case, even a movie star is a sadhu baba also when he works in the movie. Do we call him sadhu baba? No, we call him by a hero's name. Arey wah, kya hai? What an acting! What an acting! Yeah, what a dress! What a makeup! So how do we identify? So number one, God has told that a jnani person should not behave uniquely, and they will not also. A true jnani person will not behave uniquely. It is understandable. Because for them, the material world is useless. So showing the material world with material thing is no meaning of it. I remember we were young and we were playing with the marbles. वो कंचे खेलते थे, marbles. And you know what? Then we used to trade like 10 paise 3 marbles or 10 paise 5 marbles, right? Imagine that. And then we were telling, oh, then we will count all those marbles like every day evening or every 2 days. Oh, I have got this much marble, I have got this much marble, like that. Now today, with our salary, how much marble we can buy? N number. But do we buy? No. Why? Our fun is gone. Our fun is gone from them. So when the true knowledge comes, the fun in the material world is gone. So a true jnani will not find the fun in the material world. So a true jnani will not show business. Show business nahi karega. He will not show something very big. Oh, I am showy. I have got this. I have got this. मैं कांटे की बाढ़ के ऊपर सोता हूँ. नहीं, वो नमस्कार है उनको. I am not joking for that. But it is not there. Why? There are 2 reasons. We talked about it also. Because other people cannot follow it. मैं किले की पेड़ के ऊपर सोता हूँ. मैं महाज्ञानी हूँ. But other people cannot sleep on the nail beds. So they cannot become a guru. They cannot become a guidance to the society. That is why he should not do a unique thing. And second part we thought about is that he should not even tell other people that they are doing wrong. Okay, now in this both case, once he is already not showing it, he is just a normal person like us. He is also wearing jeans and t-shirt, and he is just talking, and he is having a family, he is having kids, he is doing a job. How can we identify him as a uniquely Jnani? Very difficult. And second part is, you should not tell others also that you are doing is wrong. माँ बच्चे को नहीं बोलना चाहिए तुम घर घर मत खेलो, ये माया है. If the mother says that, what will happen? The whole fun of the game with the daughter will be gone. Oh, it is only for the kid. No, even we also have the same thing. We are also in Maya only. वो कहते हैं, what is told is being right. What is being told is correct. It is not wrong. संसार माया है. But don't tell the people that you are in Maya, because that is going to create depression. Oh, Atmashlaga in Hindi, in Sanskrit, that's the word Atmashlaga. It will create a depression, self-diminishing psychology will be created if you tell a person who is already active in the fruitive action. So that should not be done. So now if we cannot identify, and if the person is not telling, how do we define the life of a Jnani and the person who is ignorant? So the 28th sloka is coming. I will chant the 28th sloka and we will go further on that. Tattvavittu mahabaho guna karma vibhagayoho guna guneshu vartanta iti matva na sajjate. Sajjate means becoming attached. Iti matva. Knowing this, the person doesn't get attached. Who? Tattvavittu. Tattvavit. One who knows the truth. One who knows the truth. Mahabaho is a big warrior. Mahabaho is one of the name of Arjun. Tattvavittu Mahabaho. Hey Arjun, Tattvavittu, one who knows the truth, that guna karma vibhagayoho and guna guneshu vartanta. Two parts. One is how the actions are created and why those actions are created. This is the analysis done by in the sloka, 28th sloka. Guna guneshu vartanta. In Hindi, it will be, हे महाभाव, गुण विभाग और कर्म विभाग को तत्व से जानने वाला महापुरुष संपूर्ण गुण ही गुणों में बरत रहे हैं, ऐसा मानकर उनमें आसक्त नहीं होता. Very difficult Hindi. We will try to understand it. So what it means in English is, O mighty Arjun, the illuminated person, illumined person, distinguish the soul as distinct from guna and karma. They perceive that it is only the gunas. So now here the guna word is in two areas, in two places, two meanings. One is, and we will try to understand it, but let us try first read this one. Is only in the gunas and that move among the gunas, and thus they do not get entangled in them. Okay, why there are two words of guna? Why two words guna? So one guna is the gun itself. And the second one is the consumption of gun. Let us take an example, simple example. Jalebi. When we see a thing as jalebi, what happens? The jalebi has got sugar in it. So jalebi is sweet. So the guna of sweetness is in the sugar which is in the jalebi. But jalebi cannot feel that I am sweet. To feel sweetness, we need a tongue. So when the tongue has tasted the jalebi, then tongue says that jalebi is sweet. So because of only the sweetness in the jalebi, the cycle doesn't complete. The cycle completes when one of the supporting guna is taking or indulging with the other guna. That is how the cycle comes. This is a micro mechanism of psychology. In our life also, same way. If I am in a job, $30,000 job, I will look for, how can I have $40,000? If I have a small car, Toyota Corolla, how can I have a Tesla? Because the fun is in the connection. And there is a lot of analogy coming into it, but we will not go in that direction. It's very, it will be divergent. But unless there is a connection, if the guna is not connected with one who is enjoying the guna, then the actions doesn't happen. Imagine somebody has a problem with the tongue and the taste is gone. Some kind of disease or some kind of temporary injury, whatever. Okay, what will happen? Even though they are eating jalebi, the guna of sweetness of the jalebi will not come in the mind of that person. Means both sides should be active to identify the action, and then if it is favorable, you need to repeat it. Jalebi or ek jalebi de do. Give me one more jalebi because I like sweet. If it is something which is not favorable, then you do not need it. So you deny. So action is same. Whether you do it or you do not do it, not doing is also an action. So a guna guneshu vartante. When a quality, a characteristic is there, it is in two parts. It is in the senses, in the shape of senses, mind and others, and the other guna is in the objects of perception. This is what is explained. When there is an object of perception, sometimes even if the perception is there, if the guna is not meeting with the expectation of the senses, what will happen? Dissatisfaction will be created. Let us take an example. You go to a restaurant and your friend has told you, oh, let us go to this restaurant. This restaurant is very tasty, giving very tasty food. Let us go and eat their samosa chaat. Now, when we go to the restaurant, the taste of samosa chaat in our mind is already there. That is setting our expectation. The guna of the samosa chaat in our mind is already set. Now we go to the restaurant, and when we get the samosa chaat, the taste is different. It is not as per our expectation. Maybe lower than our expectation, below expectation. It may be good, but it is not matching. See, the question here is also that is it a good or bad taste? Well, somebody next seat will say, oh, this is an excellent samosa chaat. We will say, no, this is not. Why? Because the matching of the guna. Why we are talking about this? Because the action is coming as an impact of two things together. So when we will taste the samosa chaat, we will say this samosa chaat is not good. We will be unhappy. But another friend who has come to the same restaurant will say, this is an excellent taste. I will come here again. So guna guneshu vartanta means both things should match. The expectation, our memory, capacity of the senses, and all this mechanism which is internal or material within us, and then the external is a perception of the object. What that object is going to give us, and accordingly our behavior happens. And then it is a counter behavior. Like we will not go to that restaurant again because we didn't like the samosa chaat. Other person will come to that restaurant again because he likes samosa chaat. Whether samosa chaat is good or not is an entirely different question. But our actions will be dependent on this guna guneshu vartanta. That is what is important. So tattvavitta means whom? Tattvavitta mahabhava guna karma vibhagayo. Tattvavitta. Tattva means who knows the truth. The person who knows that I am neither the taster nor the tasted. मैं जलेबी भी नहीं हूँ और मैं जबान भी नहीं हूँ. I am not the tongue. Because today it is tasting something, tomorrow it will taste different. One who is inside is the one who is experiencing. And that is entirely different than the material world. And the experiences too. One who understands this with abolished ego, and this is explained as abolished ego, which is sometimes confusing because people think that ego means one who has got a super, hyper, too much overconfidence or too much over respect about self is ego. No, ego here means identification of ourselves. Who has identified themselves clearly, and aham, ego, jisko they are free from the bodily identification, are able to discern their spiritual identity distinct from the corporeal body. This is what it means. Now, guna, as we were taking the example, the same thing. The samosa chaat. So, guna means what? Guna means either it is sattva, rajas or tamas. We'll not go into that detail because either we have heard a lot about it and which has created more confusion, or we do not want to go in that much detail because we want to understand it in a very simple way. We'll understand it in a very simple way. But what it means is that any reaction which comes out of the experiences is in these three ways. If we like the samosa chaat, then our greed will increase. I want it more. If we didn't like it, our anger will increase. Tamas. That no, why this taste is not that good when I have paid $20 for this. So, in both cases, the reaction is there. And sattva and rajas and tamas, they are different kind of reactions which will come with the experiences. And the result and return on the experiences. And all these things are coming through the senses. The person towards the wishes and what senses pull towards. So if our experience is good, our greed will pull towards it and we will do it more and more, the same action. Now somebody will ask, oh, what is the reason why we have to study in this detail? We'll come to that. So one is the guna vibhag, the virtues side of it, the sattva, raja and tamas. The other side is karma vibhag, the duty of a person. So remember here karma doesn't mean मैं काम करता हूँ. काम करते हैं वो, that is a lower level of definition of karma. Here karma means what is my prescribed duty. Varna vyavastha, which we talk many times. My prescribed duty. So I am a brave person and I work in security or I work in the military. Suppose, for example. That is my prescribed duty. I am born with the qualities and I am doing my work. That is my karma vibhag, my karma direction. This is the action part which is directed by the guna. Why it is by the guna? Because I am a brave person, my actions are related to a brave person. So there is one guna vibhag which we talked, and then there is a karma vibhag. Now the soul is neither of that, and how they are being connected is important here. So we will take an example of a karma side first of all. So here in the karma, we suppose sometimes let us take small real life examples. If somebody is coming to a holy place and he is told, oh, he is a fisherman, he is killing the fish. Every day he catches the fish, all these poor fish die, he is a fisherman. Other guy is a cobbler. There are duties people do all around the world. So people will keep doing their duty. Karma vibhag. But it may, and then there is a doctor, the another person. Then we'll say, oh, he's a doctor, he is saving the life of the people, he is serving the society, he is treating the ill people, a good guy. Yeah, that is how we say, isn't it? But it may happen that the fisherman may be very benevolent. He may be kind-hearted person. And the doctor may be very greedy, even if it is not required. He will say, okay, let us go for surgery. $20,000. Isn't it? We have seen those examples. A doctor can be greedy. And a fisherman can be benevolent. So guna and karma are two areas. So we cannot say only by the karma that a person is really a good soul or not. Because it is connected with the guna. That is why guna karma vibhaga. Both are supposed to be connected. So how do we define, suppose for example we took the example of a greedy doctor. How the greedy doctor is defined? By the rajas. He has got more greediness. He needs more and more money. His attitude in his own work is defined by the guna. So a fisherman, though he is killing thousands of fishes every day, he can be a very kind-hearted and very nice person, and a doctor may not be. So it is very important here to think that, so based on the attachment to the results we are seeking, based on that, the person will be defined, the soul will be defined, and we say that, oh, acha atma hai, badhiya admi hai. That is what we say. So here there are two things. One is that by looking at somebody's profession, do not judge or do not say that the person is doing a good or bad job. He may be a good person too. Just by looking at the profession of a person, we should not be judging. We should be looking at the guna part of it, and the gunas will go and go into that. So there are two steps we have to do. One is, first we have to think that we are the doer. Who is the doer? काम अंदर से कौन करता है? क्या गुण हमें खींच के करवाते हैं या मैं खुद करता हूं? Am I doing it or the gunas are pulling? And then we think that the fruit should always be favorable to be happy. So am I the person getting the fruits? Am I the person who is doing the work to do the fruits? What is the mechanism? Depending on the type of guna, it impacts our senses. And this creates a drive. This drive can be defined as an anger, greed and so on as a guna vibhag. This drive then tells the senses to do the karma, what prescribed karma, in the way they want. And then the action happens, good or bad. So these actions are defined by birth or education or anything. But the way we do the actions is defined by the guna. So if I am born as a fisherman's son, I may be doing fishing. It is my father's job and I am continuing my job. It doesn't define me. This is what the God is telling here. It's clearly telling. And so enlightened person understands that one who sees all this happening is nothing but the I, which is my own soul. Once this is understood, the drive for the actions towards the senses will be purified. फिर कुछ भी काम करो, whatever is your job, whatever is your profession, you will do it in a good way. If you are a fisherman, you will do that. If you are a cobbler, you will do it in a good job. You are a doctor, you are going to do a good job. If I am born as a kasai, अगर मैं कसाई के घर पे पैदा होकर कसाई का काम करता हूँ, तो मेरा जॉब है वो. A judge is similar to a judge. A judge is giving judgment and telling for a life prison for the people. We do not blame him that, oh, he put somebody in prison. Rather we respect, oh, judges and lawyers, good, big people. Then why not a person who is born with that to do his job and helping his father to do the fishing? So evaluation of a person is coming from the guna, the soul, who we are, the person who knows. The person who knows this does not get mixed up with the other two. So what will happen? The person who knows that I am the soul will see the guna. It is not that they will not see it, but they will not indulge with it. Because they do not get indulged, in other words, they do not feel the greed, they will feel the खींच पता चलेगी मगर उसमें बहे नहीं जाएंगे. खींच पता चलेगी मगर बहे नहीं जाएंगे. They will not get swayed away by that. They will understand खींच होएगी because we are material body. खींच होगी ही. We will get feeling about it, but they will not get dragged into it. One who understands, they will not get dragged. The person who knows the difference does not get dragged into the guna and get his actions impacted by the impact of the change, get impacted by the guna. So here it is very important. So how does it, okay, so this is all theory. Show me in practical, right? We always say, and our purpose of this Gita Pravachan is also to see what is practical. When we do this, when this kind of education is coming in the society, or this kind of example, let us take example of Bhagwan Ram. What will happen? Our attitude will change. Our actions will change. Our actions will not be based on the guna, but our actions will be based on what is prescribed duty. Karma kya karna hai. Bhagwan Ram, he eat the berries tasted by Shabri. एक आदिवासी महिला, a forest dwelling person, is giving the berries that also half eaten, and Bhagwan Ram is eating it. Was it because he was very hungry or the berries were very good, tasty? That is why he thought, okay, jhoota hai to kya hai, kha lenge. No, he wants to give a message. He wants to give a clear-cut message here. Yeah. On other side also, Bhagwan Rama, Sita Mata ने कहा मुझे ब्लाउज चाहिए, so वो सोनेरी हरण है, उसको मार के मुझे उसकी चमड़ी का ब्लाउज लगाना है. So Bhagwan Ram is going for hunting. When this story comes, in other words, Bhagwan Ram was doing hunting now. क्षत्रिय है तो hunting करते थे. He was killing animals. So what will happen if there are other faiths, Jainism, Buddhism? They will say, oh, this is an animal cruelty. You should not kill the animals as a human being. So Bhagwan Ram ne to mara. How that is happening? That is why, because the intention behind the actions must be seen. Intention is important. Guna, whether I am pulled by the guna or whether I am pulled by my karma prescribed duty. This is it. And two excellent examples is our Maharshi Vyas. He was a fisherman, son. He was a fisherman. His business was fisherman. But what we are reading now, Srimad Bhagavad Gita and the whole the holy Mahabharata, is written by him. He was a fisherman, and we are reading it. उन्होंने लिखा हुआ महाभारत and Srimad Bhagavad Gita we are studying now, which is considered as the most pious book written by a fisherman. Rather, there is a sloka that is telling that there is nothing in the world which is not chewed. जूठन. दुनिया में ऐसा कोई भी ज्ञान नहीं है जो व्यास का जूठन नहीं है. Whatever are the areas in which psychology, medicine, Vyas has done his work. That is what Maharshi Vyas is. But he was a fisherman. Similarly, Maharshi Valmiki. We already know, he was a hunter. He was killing animals. He was also a dacoit. He was looting people. But he wrote Ramayana, most pious book, and we all read it. They put that book on our head, written by a Paradhi. He will go and kill the animal and take out all the flesh and maybe eating, because he may not be doing it just for the sake. But we are reading Ramayana. Important part here is whether the actions are done by the guna, then it is a question. If it is done as a prescribed duty of my karma, that is perfectly fine. Now here, when we talk about this is giving us a door. It is like a door. It is a ray of light. For what? For the happiness of the world. Vishwa Shanti kaise aayegi? Everybody says, Vishwa Shanti kaise aayegi? How the world peace will happen? Everybody says that. So number one is, this is creating us a detachment. If this understanding, once we separately identify ourselves and understand the continuity of us, which is soul, compared to the material existence, along with the responsibility of the duty, we can easily detach from the actions as well as the expectation of the fruit. Once we can detach ourselves from the guna, then our actions will not be impacted by guna and our actions will be in the correct direction. It will not go in wrong direction. In whatever karma we are prescribed with. I am a fisherman, I am a cobbler, I am a carpenter, I am a doctor. Once that खींच, वो जो खींच है वो चली जाएगी, once that dragging power of the guna will be gone, then we will be working neutrally. We took example last time about the bank cashier. Bank cashier, as long as he understands that the money in his hand is owned by the bank, and he is merely nimitta matram bhavasave sachina, he is merely an instrument to give away the money. His guna of repentance that I am giving so much money and all that will not occur, because he knows that I am different and this money is different. I am not the owner of the money. And it is in reality also, we are not owner of what we have. One day we are all going to go by leaving it here. If we are owner, we should be able to take it with us. So detachment, this is important. Detachment from the actions, the guna of the actions. And then identifying the root cause and hence the solution of the world problem. How? Deciding in the education system. Sab dharma sarike hain. Yeah, people say that. I will be very bold to say it from here. I should be bold because I should talk truth from the here. Yeah. Sab sarike hain. Nahi hai. Nahi hai. If some faith says that this is, that these are good people who believe in us, and other people are bad people who are not believing in this faith, then that is not a correct education, because that is not equality. The correct education is one see equality. Here, when we understood the guna karma vibhag, we saw that even a fisherman, a doctor, an engineer, a chartered accountant, a cobbler, a carpenter, they are all same as long as they do not get dragged by the gunas. There is nothing like a faith here. There is nothing like if you are not going to follow this, you are going to go to hell. That is what Srimad Bhagavad Gita is telling. So if these thoughts are inculcated in education system, what will happen? People will not go by the other books, because they exactly understand what is going to bring the equality, ekatmata. This is something we have to be proud of for Srimad Bhagavad Gita. We should be proud of. It is clearly telling one who is getting dragged is an incorrect action. One who is understanding it is not going to do an incorrect action. It is not bifurcating, or it is not diverting or distinguishing between two faith, between the people who are in faith or who are not in faith. There is nothing like faith over here. So we can say we should be proud of our Sanatana Dharma. By profession, services, the way of life, faith, belief, any education which is distinguishing, any education which is making difference between the people, because of that is not a right education. That is why education of Srimad Bhagavad Gita is extremely important in the world. Why we should study Srimad Bhagavad Gita? This is the reason. This is the reason why we should study, and we should also make other people to study. It is not for dharma का फैलावा करने के लिए नहीं है, विश्व शांति के लिए है. There is a big difference. Okay, we'll go further on 29th sloka, because we have to also understand that when a person is understanding what is right or wrong, the person who understands what is wrong will start shouting in the world. He will say, no, this is wrong, isn't it? They say, suppose there is some people have gathered, and there is some food being cooked, and one lady by mistake has taken a salt ka dabba, taken a salt and trying to put it in kheer, for example, for a sweet. Kheer is a sweet, right? So some other lady will say, oh, don't do it. Why she will say that? Because she knows that that dabba, that pot is containing the salt. One who knows will shout. One who doesn't know will not shout. One who knows will shout. One who knows will create an action. But what will happen because of that in this case? So we'll go to 29th sloka. I will do the chanting first. Prakruter guna sammudha sajjante guna karmasu tan krutsna vidon mandan krutsna vinna vichalayet. These are the words. Sajjante. Sajjante means become attached. Sajjante means Prakrute guna sammudha. Sammudha means one who is a deluded person, who is an ignorant person. A ignorant person, sajjante, becomes attached because of the material nature of the guna, by modes of the material nature. He becomes attached. Guna karmasu, as a result of the action. Tran krutsna vido mandan. Krutsna vido. Krishna. Here there are tan and then kru. There is a a in between. So that is a tan. Those. Krishna. Vida means person without knowledge. such people who doesn't have the knowledge and they get attached with the karma, with the fruitive action because of the prakriti, the material nature. For those people who are mandan, means ignorant, krutnavin, now vinna, there are also two ends, krutnavin and na vichalayet. The person with the knowledge, na vichalayet, should not unsettle. Those who are deluded by the operations of the guna becomes attached to the result of their actions. But the wise who understands this truth should not unsettle such ignorant people who know very little. They should not. See, God has repeated actually here. The sloka number 26 is repeated here in a different way. One who doesn't have the knowledge enough should not tell, the one who has got the knowledge should not tell the other people, akrutnavid, should not tell krutnavid people, should not tell that you are attached to the fruit. Why? Why they should not tell? Again, the same question is coming. In Hindi, प्रकृति जन्य गुणों से अत्यंत मोहित हुए अज्ञानी मनुष्य गुणों और कर्मों में आसक्त रहते हैं. उन्हें पूर्णतया न समझने वाले मंद बुद्धि अज्ञानियों को पूर्णतया जानने वाला ज्ञानी मनुष्य विचलित न करें. Do not विचलित them. Do not say them. Why? Because प्रकृति जन्य गुण है. Let us take a simple example. You know, इतनी भारी हिंदी और इंग्लिश difficult. Gita should be simple in life. So, what does it mean? If I got I will give an example, a simple example. I was somewhere long back. It is almost 35 years back. I went to one of my friend's place. My friend had a daughter. She was around 2.5, 3-year-old daughter. And I went to their place and I say, hi, hello, hi baby, you know, like, you know, generally you talk with the kids like that. Then I asked the kid that, oh, do you like chocolate? Which chocolate you like? And the kid told me that, no, I don't eat chocolate. And I am shocked, like, it is very rare that a kid will say that he doesn't like chocolate. So I asked the kid, why you don't like chocolate? And the answer is not that I don't like chocolate. The answer is, chocolate खाऊंगी तो दांत खराब हो जाएंगे. Now that knowledge is correct. It's correct. The father has told the child that do not eat chocolates because it is going to spoil your teeth. Agreed. Too much sugar is going to spoil the teeth of the kid. That is true, isn't it? It's true. But two part is there. So number one is very simple, sansarik part. I told the father, you are spoiling the fun of the child. जो बचपन में इतना आइसक्रीम खाना चाहिए, चॉकलेट खाना चाहिए, एंजॉय करना चाहिए, तुमने इसका बचपन तोड़ दिया. कैसे? ज्ञान देकर, है ना? ज्ञान देकर बच्चे का बचपन तोड़ दिया. या यू गेव द ज्ञान, eating chocolate, eating ice cream is going to spoil your teeth, so you don't eat. Oh, so the child is spoiled. Ajnani manusya, akrishna. Remember, why we are talking it here is a practical example we are taking. And then second part is that does it remove the greed, prakriti janya gun, means does it remove the attachment to the chocolates from the child's mind? It does not. पसंद है, अभी खाना नहीं है, क्यों? दांत खराब हो जाएंगे. हाँ. And this is applicable even to us also. बच्चे का चॉकलेट क्या? We have got lot many chocolates in the world. Even today, even an adult 95-year-old person has his own chocolate. Only the definition of chocolate is different. But everybody has got the same chocolate, similar chocolate. हाँ, जवान लड़का है तो लड़की सामने आती है चॉकलेट. हाँ, लड़की के लिए लड़का चॉकलेट. हाँ, हिंदी मूवी देखना है तो हीरो हीरोइन चॉकलेट. मेकअप का सामान देखा तो लड़की के लिए वो चॉकलेट. अभी 16-year-old girl you tell don't do the makeup, it is going to spoil your skin. Will she follow it? No, she will not. So here this sloka is telling vichalit na kare. Why vichalit? Because what happens? See, in practical psychology, forget about Sanskrit. No, we can always practically when a person is told the jnana, he will not lose the greed, but he will have to detach himself. What will happen? Vichalit ho jayega na. The life of the person is disturbed. So do not do that. This is what is telling. This is what this sloka is telling. It's already 6:45. We have to stop here today. We will take some more detail of this sloka next week. Again, Wednesday, 6 to 6:45 as we come for the Gita study. And we will go further on the sloka number 29 to understand it more, why we should not be telling a person a jnana which is going to create a difficulty in the life of the person who is a jnani. Till then, I wish everyone a good weekend and also a good week. Take care. Vasudeva Sudam Devam Kansachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Para Brahma, Tasmai Sri Guruve